YouTube. So this is just a follow-up on my case study that I posted yesterday, and in this video I'm just going to be reviewing my ads manager, showing you guys what I did, all of the steps I took to be able to achieve these results, because I know I went through my ads strategy in that video, but it wasn't really that clear, and I just want to show you guys visually what I did. So you can see a 2.04 return on ad spend here, but it was actually more than that. So well, it was better than that basically. Let me show you guys. So I did 25,268.89 in sales. I'll show you guys here the calculator, and we'll divide that by 22,000 oh sorry 913.47, which becomes, that's completely wrong. Oh, my bad. So what I did was I actually divided it by my sales. I recorded it on the ads manager. That's not what you're supposed to do. What you're supposed to do is actually do it this way. So 0.69 here divided by 11,239.92, and there you go. So actually I had a 2.248 ROAS. So you can see it missed out on a lot of sales, around 3 grand, or between 2 to 3 grand worth of sales, but that's whatever. So now I just want to go over what I did. So if we just go to the first day of launching ads, which would be the it would be the 12th of November here. So update. We'll sort by amount spent. So you can see when I tested this product, I actually did a CBO $100. That's not what I told you guys yesterday, but there's a reason why I didn't say that I did this yesterday, and I'll show you guys it right now. So I spent $76.40 to generate back one sale. Now, the reason why I didn't tell you this is because I wanted to test the CBO strategy, because I've been hearing people talking about it, such as Verum Ecom. He's been talking about this strategy, doing $100 CBOs, and I've tested it on multiple stores at this point, and it just doesn't work for me. So I didn't want to tell you guys that I did that because, well, it's not relevant. It doesn't work for me, at least, and I'm not going to tell you guys something I don't do myself. And then I ended up testing multiple different things here, and this is a strategy I told you guys. I spent $67 to get back 5 sales with a 2.52 ROAS on the strategy I told you guys by testing cold audiences in the US, right? That's what works for me. I always start off my stores with the US, and you can see I tested the UK, didn't work out. I tested out US 95% video viewers, didn't work out. I tested out, okay, so this is just a PPE campaign to get up the engagement, get some video views going on, etc. But here I tested 75% EU, got 2 sales, wasn't profitable. I think I just ended up turning that off the next day and just focusing on the US, because that's, I always like to test different countries, but honestly, US is always the one that works the best for me in the beginning. So if we just keep going, you'll notice that I'm only running ads for the US. Okay, so these 2 campaigns are US, right? This one is US as well. I'm not sure. Okay, I'll highlight which ones are the US, because I'm not sure whether I'll show you guys the names of the campaigns, but basically these 3 were the US. One got a 3.36 ROAS, the next one got 2.55, and this one got a 0 ROAS with $45 spent. And then we've got EU, and then this is just a PPE campaign worldwide to get some engagement going. But basically EU wasn't working. I tested it. I tested cold audiences, etc. With the EU, they weren't just working. But now let's just discuss these US campaigns here, right? So what I did was that I turned off my video view campaign. Now, why did I do that? Well, the 95% was clearly not working in the US, and I needed to gather some more data on that. So that is why I turned it off. But if we look at these cold audiences here, so yeah, I started off with one cold audience in the US, And then I went over to another cold audience in the US and a third one. So I tested, 2 more campaigns the second day, or is the no, yeah, the third day. But what I would have done, so the third day, I just launched these new cold audiences campaigns. Usually, I just suggest you guys to test one new campaign. In this case, I tested 2 more. One didn't work out. I just turned it off. I didn't want to spend money on something that wasn't working. Right? You could keep it running. Usually, I suggest two days, but in this case, I didn't really care. I was gonna move on to lookalike audiences for this store anyway. I was only gathering data for that, so. You can see how these 2 US campaigns performed super, super well. Let me just deselect. Let me just deselect these ones right here, and then we'll go on to the 15th. I hope I'm not going too fast and I'm explaining everything well. So you can see the inconsistencies with Facebook ads here. These are the 2 campaigns that performed extremely well yesterday. You can tell $100 spent, 2 sales. I just ended up turning off my ads because I was just losing money at this point, and that's not something I enjoy doing. Let's just hop on to the 16th, and we'll see what happens here. So, did I launch another campaign here? Wait, let me just check. Okay, we'll go back to the 15th here. Okay, so these are the ones I was running. And then if we go on to the 16th. Yeah, so this seems to be... it appears that I created another campaign here. So I called the US hashtag 2, but that's not the case because I had one which was called magazines, right? So I just created another campaign, named it hashtag 2, but it's actually like hashtag 4 with cold audiences. So it's just different cold audiences in here. But if we just keep going, and nothing was performing well at this point. So I think I started video view lookalike audiences right here. I could be wrong. No. So I'm still running cold audiences, but it's performing a little bit better. It seems like I turned off the hashtag 3 cold audience, and I'm still running hashtag 1 and hashtag 2, right? You can see how hashtag 1 was performing well today, and hashtag 2... I'm profitable, still got sales and gathered data, and that's the most important part. So if we go to the 18th, you can see that I launched lookalike audiences. Remember how the US lookalike audience was not performing well in the beginning, right? It was not performing, and that's fine because I relaunched it, and look at this now, a 1.9 return on ad spend with 7 purchases. $116 spent on this one, which is interesting. We can actually hop on, we can go inside of this campaign because it doesn't really matter. Okay, I see what happened here. So basically what has happened is I set a $10 budget, but it ended up spending more than that because Facebook, they like to steal your money. So that's basically what happened. But anyway, so I did set a $100 budget. It overspent a little bit. If you want to avoid overspending, you could probably do CBOs. I don't know if that would help. Honestly, I don't really work with CBOs that much. But if we go to this, okay, I don't want to. I'll just blur the screen. Okay, I don't know why I went inside of that, but let's just keep going. We'll go to the 19th. The reason why I don't want to show you guys my interest is because I'm gonna relaunch ads for the store. But anyway, you can see how the 19th started performing really, really well. This is the point where I moved on to lookalike audiences. Let me just quickly show you guys. So 18th is when I started my lookalike audiences, right? So let me show you guys my return on ad spend before I launched lookalike audiences. Well, I did have a few lookalike audiences the second day. It didn't really perform. But you can see a 1.11 return on ad spend with $852.66 spent. Now this would have thrown most people off, losing money. So you know how it says now the actual ROAS was higher than this. Let me just see what the actual ROAS was. So 12th of November till the 18th, I think, 17th. Okay. So I got 979.06 in sales. Still unprofitable. My break-even ROAS at this point was 1.5. We're looking at it 1.1. So it was extremely bad. And yeah, so you'll see, I was just buying data. That's what some people don't understand. You gotta buy data to be able to start running profitably. Or well, that's how I do things. Some people, they spend like, oh, I'm not gonna spend like more than $50 on the store. Well, good for you. I like building one product stores. I like spending a lot of money to gather the data and start running lookalike audiences, and you can see the results for yourself. I spent $852 to generate back 979, which is garbage, right? It's horrible. But that's the best part about it, because I'm just buying data, right? Look at this now. On the 18th, when I started running lookalike audiences, I was still running one cold audience here, but I got 10 sales with a 2.04 return on ad spend. So I'm extremely profitable here. And then we can go to the next day here on the 19th. What happened here? Well, I launched some more lookalike audiences, and we're looking at a 1.97 return on ad spend. Now, I got more sales today, so this was actually more profit towards the end of the day. Some people only look at the ROAS, but well, the ROAS the profitability depends on how many sales you got and how much you spent. So today I reached my spending limit of $250. Let me just turn off the audio here on my phone. But $250 spent, that was the cap. I couldn't spend more than that. And I did end up getting a quite good ROAS. Now, the ROAS was probably higher than this. What day is it? Okay, the 19th. Yeah, so I did $498.58 worth of sales. So that's like a 2 ROAS, all right? And nothing noticeable in compare, like not a huge difference, right? But if we keep going here now, before we keep going, let me just show you guys. So 95% video view lookalike audience, view content lookalike audience, the top 25% time spent lookalike audience, and we're still running our cold campaign, which was not performing well. But you see how these ones were performing extremely well, apart from the 95% video view lookalike audience. That's fine. Why? Because I'm gathering data for it. You see the view content, time spent 25% is gathering data for the video view lookalike audience. And then this one is gathering data for these. Like, it's crazy. It's like, it sounds crazy when I explain it, right? But basically, lookalike audiences gather data for each other, and they gather data for themselves as well. And that's basically how lookalike audiences work. Everything. If you don't know what a lookalike audience is, it's basically audiences that are similar to like an action or whatever. So let's say somebody watches 95% of your video. They will get, Facebook will put them into the 95% lookalike audience file. And this file, basically what it does is, well, you can create lookalike audiences off this file. Basically what lookalike audiences mean is that it will find similar people to the one who did that attribute or whatever. So let's say you do 95% video view lookalike audiences. It's going to find people who are similar to the ones that watched 95% of your video, if that makes sense. Let's say somebody purchases from your store and you create purchase lookalike audiences. Well, it's going to find people who are similar to those who have similar interests to those who bought from your store, if that makes sense. Now let's keep moving. I don't want to make this video way too long. I have tutorials on lookalike audiences, etc. But now let's go to the Friday the 20th here, update, and you'll see my ROAS went up, right? 2.21 in ROAS, and let's see what difference we made here. Well, I turned off my cold audiences, right? Well, cold. Lookalike audiences are still cold audiences, but I turned off non-lookalike audiences. And if we look at my retargeting here, I launched it, didn't really work out too well, so I turned it off. I felt like it might have been a little bit too soon to start lookalike audiences. Some people would, retargeting. Some people would disagree on that, but it's whatever. Let's go to the 21 first. So you can see 95% video view is not performing well. Meanwhile, while time spent 25%, view content is performing extremely well. Both of these are extremely profitable for me. Meanwhile, this one isn't. But that's fine. So we're only working off lookalike audiences at this point, right? Let's keep going. So I added some more lookalike audiences here. Let's see what I did. So I introduced United Kingdom onto my store now. So let's see what happened. 95% video view US, not performing well. Time spent 25% US, 2 ROAS. View content US 1.93, view content UK 1.28, add to cart UK ended up getting a 3.31 return on ad spend. Add to cart US only got a 1.18. It's fine. We're only gathering data. These lookalike audiences are becoming stronger and stronger for every day that goes by. Remember, for every 3 days, I'm looking at the audiences and disabling what's not working. So once we're left with what's working, our return on ad spend is going to jump, right? So we only have a 1.87, only and only it's profitable, right? So on the 22nd here, we had a 1.87 return on ad spend. We introduced United Kingdom to our store, and we had a 1.87 return on ad spend. Now let's go to the 23rd. Let's see what happened here. An extremely bad day. We hit our spending limit of $250 this day as well. The issue here is that I was scaling very fast, and it wasn't a good decision, right? Because I was scaling so fast that we hit our spending limit and most of our ad sets weren't able to spend money. But if we take a look here, we only had a 1.4 return on ad spend, but that's fine. So you can see how I introduced EU here, right? I'm going to disable that because as soon as I introduced EU, my ROAS dropped, and I was like, fuck, I'm not going to ruin my pixel. I'm a strong believer in that you have to target good countries in the beginning and then move to less good countries, if that makes sense. Some people disagree with that. That's just how I work. I always build my pixel from USA, UK, top EU countries, and then we can move to EU and then worldwide. That's just how I build my pixels personally. I feel like that works better. I don't know if I'm just, imagining stuff, but that's just how I would do things. You see how EU got one sale, right? And you see how my ROAS dropped as soon as I introduced EU, right, on the 23rd of November. Now, it could probably been a Monday or something. Yeah, it was a Monday. So that's probably the reason why. But still, I start imagining stuff with my stores, and I was like, nah, I gotta turn that off. So you see how my ROAS dropped there. But let's move on to the 24th, and you see how my ROAS is dropping extremely right here. We hit our spending limit, but that's fine. I'm just trying to hit my spending limit over and over again. Don't worry about that right now. You've seen my total ROAS, so there's nothing to worry about. But our lookalike audiences are not performing well, and that's fine. So some of them are not. And like I said, that's okay. So if we just keep going to the 25th, here I'm turning off ad sets that are not performing, and boom, my ROAS is going to be a little bit better. So you can see how things are working out quite well here. We're profitable today, and we're looking at 75% US video viewers, UK and Canada 95% video viewers, add to cart US, add to cart UK, view content UK, US 95%, initiate checkout US, initiate checkout UK. And yeah, that's basically it. We can keep moving. We're hitting our spending limit, right? And that's an issue. I don't really like hitting my spending limit too much because that messes up with the the optimization for Facebook, since I'm trying to spend more money, but it's not working, right? And it just, Facebook is optimizing. Remember that Facebook always optimizes for the budget. But you see a 3.23 return on ad spend now. How did I go? Why is my ROAS going up? That's a great question. And the reason for that is because I'm turning off things that are not working. As soon as you start turning off ads after 3 days that are not working, your ROAS is going to boost up, right? So you saw yesterday I had like a 1.67 return on ad spend. Today I have a 3.32. Now the actual ROAS is a bit higher than this. Let me just jump right into the. Let me just open up 26th of November here, and we're looking at $930.56 in sales. You see how like my Facebook is not recording all the sales. So 930.56 divided by 243.42. We're looking at an actual 3.8 return on ad spend, pretty good. And yeah, that was some good profit. I'm not too certain how much percentage that is, but yeah, so let's just keep going. You can see I've started disabling ad sets, and what I'm running is working. Now Canada didn't get that many sales, honestly. UK got more sales, and there's a reason for that. The reason for that is because I've been building up my pixel to target UK, right? So when you build up your pixel to target UK and then you introduce Canada together with UK in a campaign, it's actually going to target UK over Canada. Because Facebook has more data over there, if that makes sense. What I could have done instead, it was kind of random that I targeted Canada there. But what I could have done is I just launched a new campaign and target Canada separately. That's something I could have done. I didn't do it, and you can see how my 95% US is not performing that well. But like I said, 95% UK and Canada are performing well. 75% US is performing really well. Never forget about the 75% lookalike audience, video view lookalike audience. Now let's just jump onto the 27th here. And let's see what happened here. We're looking at purchase not value based lookalike audiences, and the US did extremely well there. You can see how I introduced my retargeting here again, and we're looking at a 1.82 return on ad spend. That's fine, it's profitable. I did get more sales than that. Let's check out how much sales we did. I can't be bothered calculating the ROAS, but if we just go to the 27th really quick, I did. Is this the 27th? Hold on. Okay, let me just refresh this. Interesting. So here it says that I did, on Facebook it says I did $454.01 in sales, but I actually did 383. So what has happened here is somebody recorded a fake purchase, or pixel purchase happens all the time with dropshipping. So someone made a fake purchase here, messes up with my data because, well, it doesn't matter. Honestly, it does not matter. Now let's keep going here. So it says I got 12 orders. I actually only got 10. So I got $383.83 worth of sales. It's whatever. Let's keep going. I launched the purchase not value based lookalike audience, performing extremely well here. But let's keep going. So here on the 28th, we can see the purchase US was not performing well. I launched the purchase UK, and it did decent, and add to cart the good. You basically see everything. I got a 1.7 return on ad spend this day. Let's just check the actual ROAS here on the 28th. Okay, let's see. So I got $581.76 worth of sales. So it was more than what it's recorded on my pixel. And so I got 19 orders. It only shows 17 orders on my Facebook. So basically my spending limit was raised here, which is pretty good. So if we just keep moving on, Let's see what's happening. I just wanna check everything. Okay, if you don't know what non-value based lookalike audiences is, it's basically when you create lookalike audiences the same way that you create video view lookalike audiences. So when you start retargeting, right, you want to exclude purchasers, and that purchase file that you create, you can create lookalike audiences off that. If that doesn't make any sense to you, I can make a video on that in the future. But let's just keep going here now. November 29th is what we want to go ahead and look at. I think my Facebook ad account got disabled this day. Okay, so it was the day after. So you can see here, I only got a 1.6 return on ad spend. It's whatever, it was profitable. And that's what I'm looking for. As long as I'm profitable, it's fine. Now, like I said, my Facebook does not record all my sales. Let's just go ahead and check out how many sales we got this day. We got $514.37 worth of sales. Not really that big of a difference, but still, it was more sales than what was recorded. And you can see what's working and what's not. So what I did here was I introduced website visitors US and UK. US performed well, UK didn't. That's whatever. Let's move on to the 30th here. I think my ad account got disabled this day. Okay, no, it didn't. And you can see we're looking at a 1.82 return on ad spend. Pretty decent. We did around $440 worth of sales. It's not recorded here, but let's keep on going. We did get a 2 ROAS this day. Facebook is not recording everything, and this is the day my ad account got disabled. Yeah, so you see my ad account got disabled December 1st. Now, this video is going to be extremely long, but let me show you guys the dates after. So, okay, these are the days before I launched my lookalike audiences, right? Let's see here. Yeah, so this is before I launched my lookalike audiences. Yeah, I had $32 spent on 95% video viewers. Didn't perform well. Doesn't matter. Now, let's go ahead and check out these days, right? When I launched my lookalike audiences. You saw my total ROAS before I launched my lookalike audiences, and now it's on 1.87. In actuality, it's more than that. Facebook doesn't record all sales, but it's whatever. So I forgot to mention my ROAS before. So the 1.87 from 1.11 to 1.87. You see the difference there. Now I think my ad account was banned during these days. Let's just take a look. Now, okay, so on the 3rd, it got relaunched. I'll show you guys the second really quick. You've already seen the first, but the second you can see it spent $5.34 without my knowledge. They actually enabled one of my ads without me knowing, and it started spending. But I managed to notice that quite early on, and I was able to disable it. But let's just go on to the 3rd of December. 1.7 ROAS, decent. I actually changed supplier here, so it wasn't really that profitable because I swapped suppliers, making sure deliveries are made quicker. But you see how my ROAS is increasing for every single day. Nothing noticeable. I was, just running my lookalike audiences like crazy here, increasing my spending to like $500 per day with a 2.07 ROAS, probably more than that. And then we've got a 2.86 ROAS, not doing anything noticeable, just running my lookalike audiences, introducing retargeting here, doing pretty good. Yeah, that's basically what I was doing, just was testing new lookalike audiences. And what I did on the 6th is I started introducing CBOs on working ad sets. I'm pretty certain. Let's go ahead and check this out. Did we launch any CBOs? No. Okay. But my ROAS, it just keeps going up. I'm disabling what's not working. My ROAS just keeps going up. You saw I spent $500+ yesterday. Today I only spent 378. And you see how this strategy just works. It's awesome. So on the 7th, I'm pretty certain I launched CBOs. I could be, yeah. So we launched a CBO, right? $100 CBO. It spent more than $100. So my theory earlier in this video was wrong, but you see a 3.58 return on ad spend on this one. And now you might say, oh, your ROAS dropped though. Well, take a look. My total spend was $551 today. Yesterday was 300 something, and the ROAS dropped, yeah, but my sales increased. So the profit margin in actuality was more, if that makes sense. Now, percentage wise, it was not more, but profit wise, it was more. And now let's just keep going. Now, like literally, I can't show you guys every single day. It's just going to take too long. But what I was doing from now on, I wasn't launching and nothing new. What I was doing is, I was waiting 3 days, launching new CBOs every 3 days. So you'll see I just introduced another CBO here, got a 2.75 return on ad spend on it. My older one wasn't really performing that well. It's whatever. You see my ROAS is crazy high still. I was disabling what wasn't working, so my spend went down. And yeah, you get the point. Let me show you guys this month. So you'll see a 2.22 return on ad spend this month, probably more than that, just Facebook doesn't record all sales. Let's just go ahead and check out the last month, the month before that, and you'll see a 1.71 return on ad spend. If we check out the dates before I launched my lookalike audiences, it was 17th to the 12th. We're looking at a 1.11 return on ad spend. If we check the dates from when I launched my lookalike audiences and was only running lookalike audiences, you'll see a 2.12 return on ad spend, probably more than that. Facebook doesn't record all my sales, but that was basically it. I was working with lookalike audiences on this store. I could probably have kept going with the store. I had to turn off ads due to logistical issues. I could probably have made more sales as well if my ad account wasn't disabled, like 3 days or 2 days, whatever. And it doesn't really matter how many days it was. It's what is done, what happened has happened already. You can't really look back at that. But I was forced to turn the store off due to logistical issues. But yeah, that's basically it for the video, and I just wanted to show you guys how I build up my stores, how I only work with lookalike audiences, and the point is you want to build data to then move on to lookalike audiences. And yeah, that was basically it for the video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.